I sat on my worn-out couch in my small Cincinnati apartment, staring at the text from my sister, Sarah, for what felt like the 100th time. It was short, like she dashed it off between sips of coffee. Hey, just letting you know we finalized the guest list for the wedding. Had to make some tough cuts. Hope you're okay with it. Love you. Tough cuts? I'm her sister. Not some distant cousin or a friend she hasn't seen since high school. I'm the one who's been there through every meltdown, every bad breakup, every time she needed a ride or a pep talk. I helped her move into her apartment, covered her bills when she was jobless, and listened to her cry for hours when her ex dumped her. And now I was just a tough cut from her wedding. My hands shook as I gripped my phone, a mix of shock and hurt bubbling in my chest. This had to be a mistake. I called Mom, hoping she'd clear things up. She answered, her voice bright and distracted like she was folding laundry or scrolling through her phone. Hey, sweetie, what's up? Mom, did you see Sarah's text? I'm not invited to her wedding. What's going on? I tried to sound calm, but my voice cracked. There was a long pause. Too long. Then she sighed, using that tone she always pulls when she thinks I'm being dramatic. Oh, honey, it's just a wedding. Don't take it personally. They had to keep the guest list small. Small? I snapped, my voice louder than I meant. Mom, I saw her Instagram. She's got 200 people on that list. She invited her yoga teacher and her old boss, but not me, her sister. Another pause. Then, well, you know how weddings are, they're expensive. And Sarah probably thought you'd be fine with it. Fine with it? I let out a sharp, humorless laugh. I helped her move 3 times. I paid her electric bill when she was broke. I stayed up all night talking her through her last breakup. And now I'm not good enough to sit in the back row at her wedding? You're blowing this out of proportion, Mom said, her voice turning sharp. It's one day. Don't make it a big deal. One day. Like it was just a random Tuesday. Like being excluded from my only sister's wedding wasn't a knife to the heart. I felt my throat tighten, but I wasn't going to cry. Not over this. I hung up without another word, my head spinning. I wasn't going to beg to be included. Not this time. For years, I'd been the reliable sister, the one who fixed everything. Sarah forgot my birthday 3 years in a row, and I let it slide. She'd call me at 1 a.m. when her car broke down, and I'd drive across town to pick her up. Mom always told me to be the bigger person and keep the peace. But this was a new low. It wasn't just about a wedding. It was about being treated like I didn't matter. This wasn't the first time Sarah had pushed me aside. A couple of years ago, she threw a big party for her 30th birthday at a fancy downtown restaurant. I'd spent weeks helping her plan it, picking the menu, sending invites, even paying for the deposit when she was short on cash. I was so excited to celebrate with her. But the night before, she called me, all casual, and said, "Hey, we're keeping it intimate, so we're only inviting a few people. You get it, right?" I was stunned. I'd done so much and she didn't even want me there. When I asked why, she laughed it off, saying, "You're family. You don't need to be at every party." Mom backed her up, as usual, telling me not to make a fuss. I swallowed my hurt and didn't go, but I saw the pictures on Instagram. Sarah with her friends, her coworkers, even her neighbor's cousin, all toasting with champagne. I spent that night alone in my apartment, eating takeout pizza and pretending I was fine. That memory stung as I sat there now, staring at her wedding text. It was the same old story. Sarah taking me for granted, Mom excusing it, and me expected to just smile and move on. Not anymore. I wasn't going to let them make me feel small again. I deserved to be seen, to be valued. And if they wouldn't do that, I'd do it myself. I grabbed my laptop, my hand still shaking, and started searching for flights. The wedding snub wasn't just a random oversight. I'd seen it coming. A few months ago, I was at Sarah's place, helping her stuff save the date cards. Her fiancé, Tom, was there, grumbling about costs. I overheard them in the kitchen while I was folding envelopes in the living room. "We need to cut the list," Tom said. "It's getting out of hand." Sarah sighed. "Fine, but I'm not cutting my friends. What about your cousins?" Tom hesitated. "What about your sister? She's always around. She'll understand." My heart stopped. Sarah didn't even pause. "Yeah, you're right. She won't make a big deal out of it. Let's keep my yoga group instead." I sat there frozen, the card in my hand crumpling. They didn't even bother lowering their voices. I was just disposable. I slipped out before they noticed I'd heard, my face burning with shame. I didn't bring it up later. Part of me hoped Sarah would change her mind, invite me anyway. But she didn't. That moment replayed in my head now as I sat in my apartment, her text glaring at me. She'd chosen her yoga buddies over me, and Mom had let her. The hurt wasn't just about the wedding. It was about being invisible to the people I'd always put first. I wasn't going to let them do it again. If Sarah didn't want me at her wedding, fine. I wasn't going to sit in my apartment in Ohio moping while she partied with 200 of her closest friends. I deserved better. I deserved a break. Within an hour, I'd booked a week-long trip to a beachfront resort in Key West, Florida. All-inclusive. Ocean view room, poolside bar, spa treatments, the works. I'd always told myself a trip like that was too pricey, but I'd been saving for years and I was done waiting for someday. If my family thought I wasn't worth an invite, I'd show them I didn't need their approval to live my best life. The day of Sarah's wedding, I was on a plane, sipping a complimentary ginger ale and watching the clouds roll by. I felt a little lighter with every mile between me and Ohio. I pulled out my phone and posted a picture on Instagram. Me, smiling with my feet up in first class, a tiny airplane window showing blue sky. Got cut from the guest list, but I think I'll survive. Key West bound. My phone buzzed almost instantly. My cousin Mike sent a string of laughing emojis. My Aunt Karen, the only one in the family who ever seemed to understand me, commented, "You go, girl. Take me with you next time." Then came the text from Mom. "Where are you? Are you really skipping your sister's wedding over this? This is so immature." Immature? I laughed and snapped a photo of the Florida coastline as the plane descended. Sparkling blue water, white sand, and palm trees swaying in the breeze. I posted it with a new caption. "Life's too short to beg for an invite. No regrets." Then I turned my phone off. For once, I wasn't letting them guilt me. This trip wasn't just a vacation. It was me choosing myself, maybe for the first time ever. When I landed in Key West, the warm, salty air hit me like a wave of relief. A driver from the resort was waiting with a sign that had my name on it. He handed me a cold bottle of water and a smile, and we cruised down the overseas highway, the ocean stretching out on both sides like a postcard. The resort was straight out of a dream. An open-air lobby with ceiling fans spinning lazily, tropical flowers spilling over every surface, and staff who greeted me with a frozen strawberry daiquiri before I even checked in. My room was unreal. A king-sized bed with crisp white sheets, a balcony overlooking the Gulf of Mexico, and a minibar stocked with snacks and drinks. I stepped onto the balcony, closed my eyes, and let the sound of the waves wash over me. For the first time in years, I wasn't worrying about what my family needed. I wasn't the one picking up the pieces or smoothing things over. I was here for me, and it felt incredible. I posted another picture, my view of the sunset, all pinks and oranges with a daiquiri in hand. When life hands you lemons, trade them for a beach view. I knew it would get back to Sarah and Mom. Good. Let them see what they were missing. Let them know I wasn't sitting at home, crying over their rejection. The next day was pure magic. I woke up to the sound of waves and ordered room service, fluffy waffles, fresh strawberries, crispy bacon, and coffee so good it put my local diner to shame. I spent the morning swimming in the resort's infinity pool, the water so clear I could see my toes. Then I grabbed a romance novel I'd been meaning to read and lounged on the beach, the sun warming my skin. No texts from Mom asking me to fix something, no calls from Sarah needing a favor. Just me, the ocean, and a whole day with no responsibilities. I thought about Sarah's wedding, probably happening right then in some stuffy banquet hall back in Ohio. I pictured her in her white dress, laughing with her bridesmaids, not giving me a second thought. I pictured Mom making excuses for why I wasn't there. And for a moment, I felt a pang of guilt. Should I have just sucked it up and gone? But then I remembered her text. Tough cuts. Number, I wasn't the one who should feel guilty. They made their choice, and I was making mine. By afternoon, my phone was buzzing again. I ignored it at first, sipping a pina colada and watching pelicans dive into the water. But curiosity got the better of me. I opened my messages and saw a flood of texts from Mom, Sarah, Mike, even my Uncle Dave, who never texts me. The first one I read was from Mom. "Call me now, it's an emergency." Emergency? I rolled my eyes. Probably some drama about the flower arrangements. But then I saw Mike's text. "Sis, you're not gonna believe this. The wedding was a total train wreck." I sat up, my heart racing. I texted Mike back, "What do you mean train wreck?" His reply came in seconds. "Groom bailed." Like, walked out in the middle of the reception? Sarah lost it, screaming at everyone. "Your mom and Uncle Dave got into a huge fight over who's embarrassing the family. Grandma's saying it's cursed because you weren't there. It's chaos." I leaned back in my chair, grinning so wide my cheeks hurt. Sarah's perfect wedding had fallen apart, and now they were all desperate to reach me? The same people who thought I wasn't worth a seat at the reception? I scrolled through more texts. "Sarah, please call me. I need you." "Mom, this is a family crisis. Where are you?" "Uncle Dave, your sister's a mess. You need to step up." I laughed out loud, drawing a curious look from the bartender. Oh, now I was needed? Now I was the one they couldn't live without? I typed a quick reply to Sarah. "Sorry, too busy enjoying my immature vacation. Hope the wedding was worth it." Then I blocked her number. And Mom's, and Uncle Dave's. I wasn't letting them drag me into their mess. Not this time. The next morning, I woke to the sound of waves and a breeze carrying the scent of salt and hibiscus. I checked my phone. Big mistake. Even with half my family blocked, I had 15 missed calls from random numbers. They were relentless. I played a voicemail from Mom, her voice shrill. "I don't know why you're acting like this, but you need to come home. Sarah's heartbroken. We're a family, and families stick together." I deleted it. The next one was from Sarah, her voice thick with tears. "I can't believe you're doing this. You're my sister. I need you." Deleted. Then one from Mike, whispering like he was hiding in a bathroom. "Yo, Mom and Aunt Karen are planning to show up at your apartment when you get back. Also, Grandma's telling everyone the wedding failed because you weren't there. It's hilarious." I saved that one. It was too good. I stepped onto my balcony, coffee in hand, and watched the sunrise paint the sky pink and gold. Back in Ohio, my family was probably still scrambling to clean up Sarah's wedding disaster. Meanwhile, I was sipping coffee in paradise, living my best life. I posted another picture. My breakfast spread with waffles, fresh fruit, and a mimosa so bright it could blind someone. Starting my day drama-free. Hope everyone's okay back home. It was petty, sure, but it felt so good. I wanted them to know I wasn't sitting around waiting for their apologies. By noon, I was swaying in a hammock, a cold beer in hand, when my phone buzzed again. This time, it was my cousin Jenny, the only one in the family who didn't make me want to scream. Her text read, "I know you're mad and you should be. But you have to hear what happened after the wedding. Call me, it's wild." Jenny's always been straight with me, so I called her. She picked up on the first ring, practically bursting. "Oh my God, you answered." "Okay, you ready for this?" I laughed, staring out at the ocean. "I'm in a hammock with a beer. I'm ready for anything." She dove in. So after the groom walked out, Sarah had a total meltdown, like screaming, throwing her bouquet at the DJ, knocking over a table of cupcakes. Then Mom overheard Aunt Karen say the whole thing could have been avoided if you'd been there to calm Sarah down like you always do. Mom lost it, saying that was ridiculous, and they started yelling at each other in the middle of the reception. Then Grandma got involved, telling Sarah she brought this on herself by not inviting you. She said, "You disrespected your sister, and now the universe is paying you back." I nearly spilled my beer laughing. So they're blaming me for not being there to fix Sarah's mess after they told me I wasn't welcome? "Oh, it gets better," Jenny said. "Your mom tried calling the groom's parents to smooth things over, and his mom just laughed and said, 'Not our problem anymore.'" Sarah's still crying, trying to plan some last-minute vow renewal to save face, but it's a disaster. The venue's threatening to charge extra for the damage she caused. I shook my head, grinning. And let me guess, she wants me to swoop in and save the day. Exactly, Jenny said. They're acting like you're the family superhero who should have been there to stop the groom from leaving or talk Sarah off the ledge. It's insane. I took a long sip of my beer. You know what's funny? I don't care. They wanted a wedding without me? They got it. And now they've got a catastrophe without me too, Jenny cackled. You're my hero right now. Enjoy your trip. You earned it. I hung up, feeling lighter than I had in years. Sarah's wedding was supposed to be her perfect day, but it turned into a circus. And me? I was sipping a beer in Key West with no regrets. The rest of the week was like a dream I didn't want to wake up from. I went snorkeling in crystal clear water, spotting colorful fish and coral reefs. I ate fresh shrimp and key lime pie at a beachside shack, the kind with plastic chairs and checkered tablecloths. I took a sunset sailboat ride, the sky turning every shade of pink and purple as dolphins swam alongside the boat. Every day I posted a new picture, me on the beach, me with a plate of conch fritters, me toasting to the sunset. Living my best life. Sorry, not sorry. My family kept trying to reach me using random numbers, voicemails, even my work email. One message from an unknown number, probably my Aunt Linda, read, "We need to fix this family before it's too late." I ignored them all. Jenny sent one last update. Mom was planning a family meeting when I got back, probably to guilt me into forgiving Sarah. I laughed and texted back, "Not coming back yet. Extended my trip. They can figure it out without me." I booked another week at the resort. More sun, more sand, more peace. I went on a guided kayak tour through mangroves, tried paddleboarding and fell off twice, and spent an afternoon at a local art gallery, buying a small painting of a sunset to remind me of this trip. For the first time in my life, I wasn't the family fixer. I wasn't the one cleaning up Sarah's messes or soothing Mom's nerves. I was just me, and I was enough. On my last day, I posted one final picture. Me standing on the beach at sunset, a drink raised to the sky. Here's to choosing myself, no regrets. Then I turned off my phone, ordered a plate of shrimp tacos, and let the sound of the waves wash away the last of my family's drama. They'd made their choice when they left me out. Now I was making mine, and it was the best decision I'd ever made.